Hello everybody, how's it going? It's me, Crendor, and welcome back to Crendor Talks in front of a shitty green screen. Today, I'm giving my opinion on the Shadowlands alpha that I've played so far. It came out, it's been like a few days now, it's been like 4-ish days. But I've played through the Bastion storyline, I live streamed it all, and then I played through the new starting zone area, and then I made a video on the new starting zone area, which will be available in the description and right up here at the end of the video or something. Or you just search Exile's Reach and there I am. So I wanted to talk about kind of what I've experienced so far and what I think of the Shadowlands alpha up to this point. Because there's still going to be more and more stuff, right? Because they're kind of doing it in just chunks, right? So it's, right now we get Bastion, then we're going to get like another zone, or we're going to get Tower of the Damned, which should be fun. We kind of just get to see everything and test it, because it's a test. It's not a demo, it's a test. I remember back in the day, TB used to always say that. He's like, this isn't a demo, it's a bloody test. Or it's a beta, beta's beta, that's what he said. And we're not even in beta, we're in alpha. So, you know, take everything with a grain of salt, right? But I think whenever something like this happens, everyone's always very excited about a new hope, right? It's like I've said before, it's a new sports season. It's, you know, the Cleveland Browns might be 0-0, but there's hope that this might be the year they turn things around and go to the Super Bowl. But in the end, they're still the Cleveland Browns. So, you know, we're in, like, preseason football right now, so just calm down. Everybody calm down. But there is a lot of good, so let's talk about it. I enjoyed everything that I played. I enjoyed the zones. I thought they were really cool. There were these owls. There's like owl men. I don't know what they're called. I forgot their names already. But they're these owl men, and they're like mopping the floors of heaven. You're essentially in this crazy Bastion world that's like a heaven, and it's almost like a Greek-Roman style. Like there's a lot of Greek and Roman mythology elements inside of it. I'm sure a lot of you have seen all the things already. I've got, you know, this is it behind me right here. I've got another picture of it. Here we are. Let's see. I want to see if I can find these owlmen. But the owlmen are probably my favorite people so far from the alpha. They're the standout character. Here we go. We got one. I don't know what they're called, but here we go. Owl people. See, let me just add it to my thing. Wait, what the shit? Okay, also, the music in the background's from the new expansion as well. Alright, here we go. Someone drew it. This is the owl person. It saved it as like a web P. I don't even know what the shit that is. A web P? Alright, here we go. This is the owl. There he is. Here he looks really cool, like he's gonna go fight, but most of them are just scrubbing the floors, and you get an owl slave, and he gets to like help you out and stuff. Great stuff. This is like the worst synopsis of the alpha test. Just like this, everything looks cool. You get an owl slave. 10 out of 10 IGN. But really, like, it looks really neat. It kind of reminds me of Nagrand a little bit with the art style and everything of how it looks. Like a Nagrand, but in heaven. It's like Nagrand died, and this is the version of it in heaven. It just needs like some floating islands and stuff. And I think it actually has some floating islands. I don't think it shows it here, but I think there are some. Either way, it's pretty neat. The quests were fun. I like the story. The story was nice. You know, you get a nice linear story. From what I heard, the like entire storyline isn't like BFA and other expansions where, you know, you get like this zone story and then this zone story and then this zone story. It's kind of like this is one overarching linear storyline, so it's a little more of an in-depth story as you go zone to zone and kind of play through this whole storyline. Some people might not like that because it is, you know, it is the entire expansion story. So if you don't like this story, you're gonna be like, well, I guess I don't like it. But I mean, so far it's, you know, it's pretty good. I played Warlock. I should have said that as well. I did play a Warlock and I enjoyed it. Here's the thing. Everybody was coming in the chat being like, Crendor, is this thing is Affliction good now? Like, whoa, you have corruption? And my knowledge of Warlocks is Classic WoW. I have never played a Warlock up until Classic WoW, so I know Classic WoW Warlock, and that's it. I boosted a Warlock in Legion, Or not Legion, in BF, whatever. I pre-ordered Shadowlands, and it gives you a boost, and I was like, I'll boost to Warlocks. That's what I want to play. So that, I know literally nothing. So I was like, oh, cool, I got Corruption, and people were like, you have Corruption again? And I was like, yeah, I thought I always had Corruption. But, you know, it seems like every spec gets Corruption. I was playing Demonology. That was actually really fun. You, like, make imps. You get Implosion, they have imps. You, like, summon demon dogs. You get, I don't know, Demonology was great. I enjoyed playing that, so I played it for the majority of everything. Destruction, I was like, this is alright. I think if I put a little more time into learning Destruction, I'd probably like it. And I played Affliction for a little bit. It seemed alright. I don't think I knew what I was doing, is part of the problem. I didn't know, like, rotations or anything. I kind of, you know, was figuring it out. And then someone in chat, when I went Demonology, was like, this is your rotation. I was like, oh, okay. And I started doing it, and I was like, this is great. So, you know, it boils down to, like, button glows hit buttons. I'm like, it's glowing, bap. So that's that. I mean, if I would have played, like, Warrior or Priest or Mage, I'd probably have a little more of an insight. So I still might go back and level some of those characters just to see how they've changed, because I know a lot more about them and their abilities and how they've progressed over the years. So I'm probably going to do that because, you know, I am a tester, so I probably should test a little more. But I had a lot of fun playing Warlock, and, you know, going forward with that, everything felt good. It felt fun. I saw a lot of abilities from Classic WoW that I don't know if they've added back since then, or that they've changed, or whatever it might be. So that was neat. Music's good. And, I mean, overall, it felt like it's a new WoW expansion, right? That's what it felt like to me. It felt like a new WoW expansion. Awesome. But that's the thing, right, is at this early of a stage where it's like, here's one zone. It's like judging Wrath of the Lich King based on Howling Fjord. Like, guys, Howling Fjord, this was great. That's it. Expansion's gonna be fantastic. Love Howling Fjord. Good stuff. Wrath of the Lich King, 10 out of 10. Right? Like, you know, we have so much more to go before we can actually start figuring out what's going to be good and bad. I think Tower of the Damned is going to be good, because that seems like a primary feature of this expansion. And it seems to be like, it's going to be cool. I'm excited to try it out, but I think that's going to be one of the first big steps to being like, all right, is this going to be an actually good expansion that we play for more than a month or two? Because that's the thing. Like, a lot of people will play the expansion for a month or two. Even people that liked, or not like, disliked BFA for the first month or two were like, hey, BFA is great, right? And then you start getting to the end game stuff, and everyone was like, oh. Oh. So, you know, we're just fastening our seatbelts right now. So that was mainly with that. The other thing I want to talk about is the new leveling zone, Exile's Reach, because that is another big thing that they've promoted in this expansion, right? They're like a brand new starting zone for all races. And so it's honestly really good. I like it a lot. I'm going to probably level through there on, like, all my alts. Whenever I make an alt, that's where I'm going to level through. And I really like the way they did it, because it has a lot of fun, interactive quests, which is good for people that are tired of, like, go to Durotar and get get boars, and then cactus apples, and get a pickaxe, and then go to Senjin and do all this. It's very, you know, interactive, dynamic, and it feels fresh. I think a lot of the other stuff feels kind of dated, and this feels very fresh, which is really good for, I think, newer players. There's a lot of people, believe it or not, that I think are getting into World of Warcraft for the first time still. Maybe they played Classic WoW, right? I think there's a lot of people that got talked into playing Classic WoW by their friends or people they know, and they're like, okay, and they gave it a shot, and they're like, all right, this was fun, but maybe they fell off after a while, or they're like, okay, I like WoW, but now I want to try the retail version of WoW. And so I think this is actually a really good introduction. It starts you off at, like, the most basic of basics. You get, like, one ability. It's like, here's Sinister Strike as a rogue, and you just, you know, you learn how to use it. You stab a guy on a ship. You have to run around. They're like, get below deck. A storm's coming. You crash. You kill some Murlocs. You fight, like, Geomancer Quillboars. Each class gets their own little specific quest for the island. So as a rogue, you have to go talk to a guy by a bear, and you stealth around. You got to go stealth kill this other guy. As a hunter, you have to trap your pet that you're going to use. So instead of, like, you know, going to Durotar and being like, hey, teach me how to train stuff. The guy's like, all right, we're going to set a trap. And you set a trap and you catch something and he's like, hey, might as well train it. So you train that and that becomes your pet. And, you know, it teaches you just little mechanics like that are very class specific, which again ties back into class identity. And I really like that because when you do this, it does give you more class identity than, hey, I'm going through Durotar. Oh, look, I get one Warlock quest and it gives me a robe. I get my imp. Like, I don't know. It feels a lot more rewarding, I guess is what you could say. At least from my perspective. And then it gets amazing because you get to run down undead on a boar, a giant boar. Then you get to ride out of a spider tunnel that's like blowing up and rocks are falling. You get to go to a harpy village and kill a bunch of harpies and stuff, which is actually more fun than it sounds. More fun than a lot of the previous versions of harpy areas. And then the big one is you infiltrate this ogre encampment, disguised as an ogre. Then you go kill all these ogres. Then you go into this big thing with the ogre warlord or, you know, warlock or necromancer, whatever it is. And he raises a zombie dragon. He brings a dragon back from the dead. It's a literal zombie dragon. They took my ideas. Zombie dragons! And they did it. And it's phenomenal. And that's how you end the newbie area, is you queue up for a dungeon. I don't know if it actually queues you up with real people, because every time I've done it, which is twice, I've gotten the NPCs, the like one NPC general and her like son. They help you out. One heals, one tanks, and it's you can solo it, like it doesn't even matter. But they're trying to teach you how to do dungeons, right, and work in a group. So I don't know if you actually team up with people or not. And I feel like if you don't find anybody, it does that, but maybe I'm wrong. And then you kill a zombie dragon. You're like level 10 or 11. It took literally like an hour to get level 10 or 11. And then it takes you into the main city and it kind of, you know, shows you around. Like, here's your trainer, here's your blah, blah, blah. Then you pick where you want to go level from there, what expansion or whatever it is. So honestly, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the newbie area for some reason. That's like my highlight of this alpha test so far. So that's everything I've gotten from Shadowlands Alpha, and I will be doing more of these as more and more releases happen to give my thoughts and talk about stuff. But either way, thanks for listening. If you want to check out that video, I'll be putting it in the end screen, which is happening right now. It should be up here. It's Exile's Reach playing through it if you want to see that. And then there's probably some other video, and then subscribe. You can subscribe, you can hit the bell, be notified when I upload stuff and all that good stuff. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Okay? Okay. See ya.